To start, you can now zoom in your camera. To do this, you press 6 on the numpad. To zoom out, you press 4. You can zoom in pretty close, which is nice, and lets you get a nice close look at your character. The EVA suits have been respited. That includes a normal EVA suit, emergency, and syndicate. I will just put them on and do a quick spin around so you can take a look at them. There's two EVA helmets. I think this is the one that is currently in game. And you can really appreciate them when you actually zoom in this much. And here's the other EVA helmet, which is just more open-topped. The sprite on the ground actually looks a lot more different than the equipped one. Here is the emergency suit. Same helmet as the EVA helmet, but the orange suit. And then here's the syndicate one. All in all, they look really nice. I really like the side profile of seeing the face and like the somewhat translucent pixels. The double-bladed energy sword is added to the game. It costs 16 telecrystal. Is a much more expensive counterpart to the normal energy sword with a much higher reflection chance, larger attack angle, higher structural damage, and faster swing, all at the cost of lower heat and slash damage. Makes a lot of noise when turned on or off. Nuclear operatives can also purchase this. If you purchase it, it will go in your hand, and it is pretty useless when without being turned on. If you purchase it and press Z, you will automatically wield it, and it will turn on. The stats of the double-bladed energy sword while turned on is 9 units of slash, 9 units of heat, 20 structural, and 4.5 blunt. The blunt damage actually does not apply. It is just 9 slash, 9 heat. However, it can wide swing incredibly quickly. And due to the fact it does structural damage, means you can tear down things like windows very quickly. Doors also are not very resistant to the double-bladed energy sword. However, due to the fact that it costs 16 TC, you really can't pair it with much else. So it is a very high-cost weapon. The D-sword also boasts a 75% projectile reflection chance, meaning it is very, very dangerous to spray at somebody with a double-bladed energy sword. And I can practically guarantee that you will fall before they do. Expeditions now give exclusive rewards. The rewards overall get better the higher difficulty you go, but as of right now, they only give 3 rewards at a time. This is also the new way to acquire cloning, because cloning was removed from science. As you can see, in this example, the moderate mission will give a medical scanner machine board, which is one of the 3 components required to clone. And the rest of them also give armor and parts crates for science, and that one gives guns and meds. The SWAT Helmet was added to the game. It is a helmet that can be found on... It is a helmet that can be a reward for salvage expeditions. The helmet gives 30% blunt resist, slash resist, 20% pierce and heat, 20% radiation, and 25% explosion resistance. It is one of the tankiest helmets in the entire game. And I'll do a quick spin around. It has a nifty little sprite as well. Bananium can now be mined on expeditions, meaning that there is more than one way of acquiring it, which the previous way was either hope the map had rocks on it that you can mine, or get it through salvage mining. Now expeditions can also offer the very rare Bananium. Artifact fragments were added to the game, and what they are pieces of artifacts. They can be mined on salvage expeditions. In order to make an artifact, you need 4 fragments. Each rock only drops 1 fragment. So if you get 4 of these in total, you'll get 4 fragments, and then you open up the construction menu and type in artifact and craft, and you'll combine all 4 together like it's Exodia or something, and then you get a random alien artifact in your hand. The Arsenal discipline is the newest discipline for science to research. It is primarily focused towards security, but also has some salvage interest at mind. The first example of a Tier 1 tech is Draconic Munitions. It is a new type of bullets. It is incendiary bullets of basically every security caliber in the game. And I'll just research all of them. There's non-lethals, and then explosive technology. And there's also ways of acquiring the more advanced laser guns. For example, here's the advanced laser gun. Then there's optimized ballistics, which are high-velocity bullets, which are just bullets that are better at their job. And then wave particle harnessing, which is X-ray cannons. And then there's your salvage weapons, concentrated laser weaponry. And finally, the last tier is Tasers. Tasers are one-shot disablers, meaning that they will one-shot incapacitate a subject, and they have 5 shots total. And in order to make any of the stuff that you research, you must research it at the Security Tech Fab, which are typically only found in armories. Cloning is removed from Tier 3 Biochemical. It is replaced with Blue Space Chemistry. Blue Space Chemistry now has Blue Space Beakers, which are beakers that hold 300 units, and Blue Space Syringes, which are syringes that hold 100 units. So now the only way to acquire cloning is through salvage expeditions, or certain maps have certain pieces of cloning boards available. And even maps like Barratry actually have ways of acquiring cloning entirely without job departments. The Clown Spider and Behonker were added to the game. The Clown Spider is a mob that can naturally occur through a random event in maintenance. The Behonker currently has no natural way of occurring. Behonker is basically more of a boss, where the Clown Spider is a normal mob. The Clown Spider drops pink webs, and instead of slowing you, will make a person slip. The Behonker is actually a range mob. It has a weapon called the Eye of the Behonker and a bike horn. The Eye of the Behonker is an infinite ammo, fairly low damage laser. It has a pretty interesting sound, which is basically just a slowed down bass boosted clown horn. But due to the fact that it's infinite ammo and can fly, it is a rather dangerous mob because they can actually kite people. They also have anomaly effects. So for example, there's pyrogravity, ice, and electrical Behonkers. Electrical Behonker will randomly shock people near it, and you can get the picture for the rest of them. So I'm going to cover it for now. Of course, there's a bunch of other changes in the past week. I normally only cover the larger player-facing changes and additions, but that does not mean that the other things added are not just as significant or impactful. I want to thank all of our maintainers and contributors for keeping the game up to date, maintained, and just the fun Space Station 14 we all know and love.